This monster is dank. Hey, it's Brain Muffin back with a beer review, and up today from the Damascus Brewery. Can you see that? This is Dankness Monster. This is something I picked up, on the 4th of May. And this one's been sitting out. I ended up getting on a phone call, and so it sat out far more than I was expecting. Does seem to be a bit of a red ale. I forget where this is listed. So that might be the secret, as it were, for these. Although it's foamier, I may have poured it a little bit too aggressively. But I've been making a comment in a couple of reviews that I've done where I've gotten a can from the brewery. Essentially, what they do is instead of doing a growler, which I don't know, they have growlers with their stuff on it. They don't sell them, though. And so I don't know if you brought one in, they would fill it, but typically they do the cans. If I brought one in for that, I would definitely do one that was not a rival brewery, just empty. It is a quart, so you got to make sure you do a quart. But there's their logo. There's the beaver logo from the Damascus Brewery. And let's, there we go for the screenshot. Thumbnail. Wow. This, I can't remember. I know Sean told me what this was, and I don't remember because I was suffering from a migraine at the time too. But I know that the dankness is coming from a variety of hop. That's what I can't remember. It's it's like they're kind of like their IPA. They have an IPA that's a little bit reddy brown, which I've already reviewed, which is pretty good. So it's not coming from Brettanomycin or anything like that. It's not a sour. It's not coming from any of the crazy flavors that you get from Sweetwater. And it's sort of their inspiration for why my videos go live at 4:20 in my time zone when I actually put them out. There it is, but that is good. I don't know. On the nose, there's this, I keep saying it's breadiness, but that's not accurate. There's an aroma that's malty with a hint of barley. That's why I call it bready. So if you get really good bread that has a nice brown crust on the top, not that overly processed bleached crap that they call bread in the plastic bags. And you can still get, white bread. It has a crust on it. But that's what it reminds me of. So we got a nice head on there, and it is dank. So it's like a stale sourness. Is about the only thing? Is that the only way I can? And it's dank. Reminds me of years ago, Rogue, and I need to do some more reviews of theirs. Surely I can get stuff. I may have to drive to Asheville to get it. But one of their beers was notorious, and I can't remember which one it was. I mean, we're talking over 20, almost 25 years ago here. But it had earthy tones. It was known, it was a hoppy beer, but instead of being pine and citrus and stuff like that, it was dirt and mushroom and tree bark kind of thing. I mean, that's not what they put in it, but there was this earthiness to it. And this reminds me of that idea. Now, granted, that's a beer I haven't had in over 25 years. Because it would have been in the 90s sometime before we moved out of Knoxville. Back when you couldn't hardly get any craft beer. Now, we have decent amount here in Mountain City, but not much. But I go to Boone, I got crazy stuff. And over in not Abington, but in Bristol, Virginia, when we typically go to Walmart, it's got an okay variety. And then the Walmart in Elizabethton isn't bad. I haven't been to the Food City in Johnson City. That's supposed to have some nice stuff too. But there's all in Boone, there's several breweries. There's also, I'm going to forget, it's Boone, not Boondocks. I forget the name. Every time I forget the name. But it's been 6-8 months since I got stuff from there, and I didn't review it. I just enjoyed it. So anyway, there is a dankness. It's kind of like musty and deep and not dusty, but kind of, yeah, it had earthy tones to me. But this is good. This is fantastic. And dankness is a style of beer I've never done. And like I said, there are a variety of hops that will do this without having to do any kind of infections or any of that other stuff. And I think there's a sour. Maybe I'm mixing my metaphors. But this is definitely a type of style that, you know, I got to get back into home brewing. I'm going to, this week, I don't know when this is going to go up, but the week that I'm recording this, I've got to go into town. I have an idea of hooking stuff up underneath the sink, but I need some parts from the hardware store. So I'll probably go to True Value. And this True Value hardware store is like stereotypical small town hardware store. You got to walk sideways. There's things in there that have been there so long, they're so faded you can't read them. And if you go, it doesn't matter if you find your part in 5 minutes, you're not out of there for at least 20, because they'll just chat with you. I'll tell you stories about all kinds of stuff, especially when they don't know who you are. But there is a maltiness in the background of this that it just makes me want to say it's bready in a really good way, kind of toasted bread. And I'm talking, you know, a real barley, maybe some wheat, hint of rye kind of bread. You know, it's kind of breads I grew up on, whole wheat and all that other stuff, not Wonder Bread and all that other crap. Especially a bread that reminds me of Hobweissbrot is what we called it, but in southern Germany. I don't remember what its real name is. Just my parents were back there in the 90s. My mom tried to get some, and they were in central Germany, and they didn't know what the heck they were talking about. But she finally found it. But that bread, that taste, that aroma, that not the texture, but when you held it in your mouth, a little bit of butter, that is what it reminds me of. Not the dankness, but this bready backbone that this thing has. So anyway, I had a sample of it there. It was good. Sean, fantastic. I think you said you made this one. I can't remember. But yeah, this is a, for a nice, and it's 9.6 alcohol. You won't even know, which is great. To me, this is a 5 out of 5 for a danky beer. Dankness Monster, good, on draft. It's got those the maltiness in its hops, but it's not. And I wish I could remember. I'm gonna write down. I got to start making beer and taking it and getting evaluations, and then start doing some relearning some stuff I haven't done in probably 15 years. So there we go. When I check in on tap, 5 out of 5 in my book. You gotta like danky beers. It's dank. It's kind of that corner of the basement no one wants to go, because you're not sure what's lurking there. A bit earthy and malty. I mean, there's a small hint of sweetness, but it doesn't linger. It's just a shadow. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let me know of different stuff in the neighborhood. There's a lot of breweries within probably an hour and a half of me. I'm trying to get a way that I can go on the road a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do videos on the road, but or just B-roll or something. I don't really want to do interviews and all that other stuff. I want to do something different. So if you got crazy ideas, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you. Goodbye.